A bridge in China's southwestern Sichuan Province is collapsed just months after its opening, following visible signs of geological instability in the surrounding terrain and raising concerns about long-term construction standards.
중국 서남부 쓰촨성의 대형 교량이 완공된 지 불과 10개월 만에 무너졌습니다. 교량 주변 지역 지형이 불안정한 징후를 보인 지 하루 만에 일어난 이번 붕괴로 중국의 장기 건설 기준에 대한 우려가 제기되고 있습니다. Oh no. What happened?
So I guess they have this bridge that was there less than a year, so it's just a matter of months after. And I guess the ground in the area, it wasn't as stable, in particular in that area. It's kind of known for that. So there's been a lot of concern, and I guess there were visible signs that this could happen. So it doesn't seem like there were any injuries or deaths. I would imagine that they were able to kind of see this about to happen before it actually did happen, is my understanding. But then this wasn't the only event. Another railway bridge under construction in the Qinghai province collapsed during a cable tension operation with at least 12 people losing their lives. 4 others are missing. So this was just in August. So there have been a few instances going on in China that is concerning them.
우려가 되는 그런 일들이 계속 발생하네요. Well, 10 months after its opening, 이 opening이라는 것은 개통식, 개장 이런 거죠. 가끔 보면은 사인에 이제 그랜드 오픈 이런 사인들이 있어요. 근데 이거 이제 콩글리시고요. 가게가 문 열 때 grand opening이라고 해야 돼요. opening이 바로 문 연다, 개통식, 개장, 뭐 개업식 이런 뜻입니다. 자, 여기서는 10 months after opening, the bridge has collapsed. So there were visible signs of instability.
And if you have a visible sign of instability for a bridge, I'm guessing what that would mean would probably be that there's cracks that you could see. So a visible sign is something that you can see that will be kind of a hint as to what is to come in the future. So what could you really see on a bridge? The first thing that you would come to mind would be like a crack of some sort, maybe unless there was like a cable actually broke or frayed or something like that. But something that you could be that could be seen, that you can, oh, wait, something's wrong there. I can see it. It's visible.
Visible, and the opposite is invisible. It all has something to do with being able to see it or not being able to see it. 보이는 것이 visible, invisible은 안 보이는 거잖아요. 그래서 visible signs는 눈에 보이는 징후가 있었다. 자, 그 다음에 long-term construction standards.
Long term, first off, is something not in the immediate, but when you think about it over the course of a long period of time. So they want a bridge to be functional, but not just for a year or just for 10 months. They want that bridge to be functional for long term, maybe like 50 years or 100 years. So they want this to be stable for a long period of time. But the construction standards on that is how you want something to be built, what your expectations are, that your guideline as to what your expectations are of how a bridge should be. And this is for the long-term future of that bridge, not just for now, not for next year, but over the course of 50 or 100 years, how strong are we going to make that bridge? How safe are we going to make that bridge? What are our expectations that we believe should be there? And these are being questioned right now with the Chinese construction.
Even when we talk about goals, we talk about short-term goals and long-term goals. So short-term goals in terms of, let's say, studying English might be to learn 5 words a day or 10 words a week. I don't know if is that too little?
No,
I don't know.
It's fine.
But whatever, short-term goals. And then your long-term goal might be to be able to talk to anyone in English freely.
Or maybe to achieve a certain score on your TOEIC or TOEFL exam.
Exactly. 자, 이렇게 장기적인 거 long term, 단기적인 것은 short term. 자, 근데 여기서는 장기적인 중국의 건설 기준을 얘기하고 있네요. Long-term construction standards. 자, 다시 읽어보겠습니다. A bridge in China's southwestern Sichuan Province has collapsed just months after its opening, following visible signs of geological instability in the surrounding terrain and raising concerns about long-term construction standards. Here's our next headline.
The sun has unleashed its strongest flare so far this year, triggering strong radio blackouts across Africa and Europe and disrupting high-frequency communication on Earth's sunlit part.
올해 들어 가장 강력한 태양 플레어가 발생해 아프리카와 유럽 전역에 대규모 전파 장애가 일어나고 햇빛이 닿는 쪽의 지구 표면에서 고주파 무선 통신이 교란되는 현상이 나타났습니다. So you'll have to tell us what this flare is, first of all.
So a flare is when the sun kind of has an outburst of energy, I think is the best way I would explain it. That energy, it just becomes stronger. And it'll be like a moment, a surge from a certain area of the sun. And eventually, it takes a little bit of time, but that reaches Earth. And as it comes to Earth, it can be disruptive in various ways. It can cause blackouts, and they've been saying, as well as different things for our electronics and different devices can be affected by it. And some have said for many years, scientists have said that there could be, it's possible, it hasn't happened yet to this degree, but it's possible for, it to really affect a lot of electronics and things in much stronger and more destructive ways.
이 flare라는 단어는요. 불길, 불빛, 신호탄 아니면 갑자기 확 타오르는 것 이런 걸 말해요. 그래서 이제 여기서 태양 플레어라는 것은 전문적인 정의는 태양 활동이 활발해지면서 뒤틀린 자기장에 축적된 에너지가 방출되는 현상 이렇게 정의를 하고 있는데 영어의 flare라는 게 이렇게 불빛이 확 타오르는 것이라고 생각하시면 됩니다. 같이 알아두면 좋은 단어가요. 이 스파크가 있는데 스파크도 불빛이지만 스파크는 작은 불꽃이에요. 불똥 같은 거, 작은 거. 이런 게 이제 불꽃이 튄다. 아니면 우리 차량 얘기할 때도 뭐 스파크 얘기하기도 하는데 여기는 작은 거는 스파크, 플레어는 좀 커요.
Yeah, a couple of things I'll quickly mention with flare is you'll often hear about a flare gun.
Yeah.
And this is for an emergency if you're on a boat.
SOS.
Yeah, on an if an airplane has crashed or you're on a boat, usually in open water, you'll have a flare gun which you shoot up in the sky.
Right.
And it looks like a firework of some sort so that a plane or a boat or something traveling nearby can see you. So the point of it is to be visible.
Right.
So that's a flare gun, which we'll often hear. One other thing I'll say is sometimes we talk about something that flares up. So you might have like your skin might flare up at a certain point, meaning that you might get like a rash or a bump, like a pimple, but something kind of becomes a little bit larger, maybe a little bit red, gets irritable, and something that flares up is usually seen as not a good thing.
우리 피부가 flare up 하면은요, 이게 붉게 갑자기 확 빨갛게 되는 거예요. 아까 우리가 불빛 얘기하면서 플레어는 갑자기 불이 타오르는 거라고 했는데 피부에서는 왜 그럴 때 있잖아요. 뭐 여러 가지 뭐 스킨 트러블이 있을 수도 있고 뭐 알러지일 수도 있고 여러 가지 이유 있을 텐데 이게 빨갛게 올라왔을 때 이런 건 it flares up 라고 표현을 합니다. 자, 다시 돌아와서 we're talking about the flare of the sun. The sun unleashed a flare.
Yeah. So let's talk about a leash first. The most common thing we think of is a leash on a dog or an animal of some sort. And what you do with a leash is you put it around the animal's neck and then you hold a long string or rope that is attached to it in order to control the animal or dog usually. And because of that, the dog doesn't have freedom. It's limited as to where it can go.
Yeah.
Now, if you unleash it, then you're taking that leash off. So something that had been controlled, something that didn't have true freedom is now free. So now it can kind of go wherever it wants, or it suddenly has power that it didn't have before. So imagine the solar flare. This has kind of been like trapped in the sun, and then all of a sudden a little hole or a little break in the armor allowed it to burst outward. So it's been unleashed where this power is suddenly surging out from the sun now.
그래요. 에너지가 넘치는 강아지나 아니면 사냥개 생각해 보세요. 자, 리쉬, 목줄이 매여 있을 때는 그렇게 많이 움직이지 못해요. 그러나 unleashing 했을 때는 목줄을 푸는 거예요. 그러면은 막 엄청 뛰어가겠죠. 강아지나 사냥개가. 그런 것처럼 unleashing something이라는 것은 확 폭발하게 한다라는 의미가 있어요. 그래서 여기서 The sun has unleashed its strongest flare so far this year 라고 해서 태양이 올해 들어 가장 강력한 flare를 발생시켰다. 이렇게 보면 되겠고요. What's a radio blackout?
Let's first talk about a blackout.
Okay.
The most common thing that we'll think of with a blackout is when the power goes out. So sometimes in the summertime, maybe if everyone in a certain area is using the air conditioner too much, then there might be a lack of power. There's not enough power to feed everyone, so we might have a blackout. Or something might happen with a power source, and because of that, there's no power to a certain area. So that's a blackout. There's no energy, so all the lights go out, which is, I think, why we call it a blackout.
맞아.
So that's a typical blackout. A radio blackout is when the radios don't work. And why would that happen? Like I said, because of these solar flares, the amount of energy that is suddenly coming in from something so powerful as the sun, it is affecting the radio waves that are being transmitted. And it interferes with the radio waves, and therefore the radios don't work the way that they should.
그래요. 자, blackout는 정전인데 radio blackout는 무선통신 두절이 되겠습니다. 자, 다시 한번 제가 읽어볼게요. The sun has unleashed its strongest flare so far this year, triggering strong radio blackouts across Africa and Europe and disrupting high-frequency communication on Earth's sunlit part. Let's move on to the final headline.
A Hungarian man has set a new record for the longest video game marathon, bopping to more than 3,000 songs on a rhythm-based music game over the course of 6 days.
헝가리의 한 남성이 리듬 기반 댄스 게임인 DDR을 6일 동안 이어가면서 3,000곡 이상을 소화해 기네스 세계 기록의 최장 비디오 게임 마라톤 부문 신기록을 세웠습니다. This story makes me laugh because, I mean, not because it's funny, but I don't know.
Were you a DDR girl back in the day, or
I
Pump?
was so bad at DDR. Were you good?
I was not. Not at all. I've been on it a little bit. I was actually at Everland on Tuesday.
And there are other great theme parks in Korea too.
There are, but this particular one, they had K-pop Demon Hunters attraction there. And one of the things that they had was like a DDR Pump sort of game set to some of the songs from there for the kids to play.
So were they going up, up,
They
up?
were going up, yeah.
아, 그렇군요. 자, DDR 참 얼마 만에 들어보는 건지 모르겠는데 For 6 days straight, he danced to 3,000 songs.
Yeah.
Okay, tell us about this guy.
Sure. So, well, first off, I should mention that he did allow himself a 10-minute break for every hour that he would dance.
Okay.
So over the course of 6 days, you can also add those up. So let's say for 6 hours, that would be 1 hour of a break that you could accumulate to use to maybe take a nap. As an example. Okay. So it wasn't like he was continually dancing for 6 days nonstop. He did take a few breaks here and there, but it was still, I mean, pretty amazing what he's doing.
물론 중간중간 약간의 휴식은 있었다고 하는데 그래도요. Oh my goodness. So his nickname is Grasshopper?
Grasshopper, yeah, because he bounces or dances a lot. They're saying that he burned more than 22,000 calories during that span as well. I think, even if you burn like 2,000 calories in a day, it's probably good, but 22,000 over those 6 days.
And I thought this guy might be in his 20s, but he's actually in his 30s.
Yeah.
So good for him. 항상 어릴 때부터 이렇게 많이 뛰어다녀가지고 별명이 Grasshopper래요. Grasshopper가 메뚜기인가요? 아니면은 귀뚜라미인가요? It's one of the two.
Yeah.
I always get the two mixed up. 어쨌든 이제 아주 어릴 때부터 가만히 있지 않고 뛰어가지고 Grasshopper라는 별명을 가지고 있는데 지금도 그런 닉네임을 쓰나 봐요. 자, 잘 뛰고 춤추고 기록을 세웠습니다. He bopped. What does bopping mean?
Bopping is basically dancing to like popular music, and it's typically like you kind of sort of hopping up and down, I guess, or you have an up and down sort of emotion to it. And I think they talked about this as like a dance in like the 1950s, I want to say.
Okay.
Like even before like rock and roll, like you'd have like bops and stuff. So it was like a 50s style of dancing back in the day. Like a sock hop, they call them as well. Yeah.
그러니까 엄밀히 따지면은 1950년대에 유행했던 춤이라지만 그냥 춤췄다. 이렇게 보면 돼요. He bopped, he danced. And over the course of 6 days?
Over the course, meaning that this is the time period that he occupied. So over the course of 6 days, it was during those 6 days.
자, 얼마만의 시간에 걸쳐서 over the course of 6 days. 다시 읽어보겠습니다. A Hungarian man has set a new record for the longest video game marathon, bopping to more than 3,000 songs on a rhythm-based music game over the course of 6 days. And that's it for the headlines.